that life picked you. Welcome to Sit Down News, and before I begin, I'd like to mention our sponsor. Ratchet is a clothing company from the UK started by a young man with a vision, a dream, and determination. They have various prints and styles for men, women, and children. I'll include a link to their website down below in the description for this video. So today we're going to be talking about Ernie Grillo and somebody else, and we'll get started right now. So a little quick background. Ernie Grillo presently is a captain with the Gambino family. Back in the beginning of this story, Ernie was just an associate. The first time I met Ernie was in Fishkill Correction Facility. Fishkill is a medium A, which means it's a high security facility. Back then, Ernie was doing time for enterprise corruption. Enterprise corruption is sort of like RICO with the state. He had a whole bunch of charges that he was found guilty of. Before Ernie was transferred to Fishkill, I had been at the facility for a number of years. One of the guys that was there with me was Anthony Guzzo. Anthony Guzzo was an associate to the Colombo family. Presently, Anthony is a member of the Lucchese family. Anthony always used to mention Ernie to me and tell me how close the two of them were. So when Ernie finally got to Fishkill, him and I hit it off right away. Naturally, we were both associates of the Gambino family and we knew a lot of the same people. One day when we were out walking in the yard together, Ernie turned around and said to me, "Whatever we talk about, don't discuss with Anthony. It's none of his business. This is Gambino business." When he said that to me, it was kind of strange because Anthony always told me how close they were, but Ernie was like that when it came to talking about things. I think Anthony thought he was a lot closer to Ernie than he actually was because Ernie had made some comments to me that told me otherwise. One of the comments was, and Ernie wasn't telling me anything I didn't know already, was that Anthony lived off the reputation of his brother Vito. Vito is actually Anthony's half-brother who's doing about 38 years in the feds for several homicides. And back then, Anthony was doing time for manslaughter and an attempted murder, and Vito was the shooter on that case as well. When Anthony first came to Fishkill, he was in a special housing unit called SHU. Basically, you're locked in a cell 23 hours a day with 1 hour recreation time. He had come from Wallkill, and as far as prisons go, Wallkill is one of the better ones. They had farms with horses, and the inmates would take care of the horses. Anthony had gotten into a fight at Wallkill with a guy named Jimmy, but according to him, another guy jumped in. So the first day I seen Anthony, I was on a visit with Johnny Santori, and John knew Anthony's father and Anthony since he was a kid. Anthony had a black eye, so John said to him, "Would you forget the duck?" Anthony looked embarrassed. He said, "No, two guys jumped me." Well, when he walked away, John said to me, "Yeah, he definitely forgot the duck." A little while after Anthony went home, this guy Jimmy wound up getting transferred to Fishkill. One of the old timers brought him over to our court, and for the first couple of days he started staying with us. Then one day I heard him tell a story that when he was in Wallkill, he had a problem with a guy named Anthony. The guy Anthony mounted off to him. He told Anthony to go into the bathroom. They went into the bathroom and he wound up knocking this guy Anthony out. He was obviously talking about Anthony Guzzo. At that point, out of respect for Anthony, I went over to the guy and told him he can't stay on the court no more. Fishkill had two sections, the main building and what they call up the hill, so the guy wound up doing the rest of his time up the hill after that. Both Anthony and Ernie got out before me. As I mentioned, Anthony went home first, and a little while after that, Ernie wound up being released as well. I was released in June of 2007, and from the time I was released, from about 2011, 2012, I went to work and kind of minded my business and stood away from everyone. And during that time, Ernie was inducted into the Gambino family. He wound up getting another case and going away for a little bit. So did Anthony. Anthony wound up catching a case and going away for a few years as well. Ernie was the first one to reach out and get me to come back around again. And after staying with him for a little bit, I came to find out that things between Anthony and him were not so great. Ernie didn't really say too much about what happened, but anytime Anthony's name came up, he used to say, "Do me a favor, don't even mention that guy's name." Anthony told me what happened. When they first got out, he borrowed $35,000 from Ernie. He said to me that when Ernie dropped off the money smelled like shit or mildew. It was in a paper bag and he had to air it out in his car. Knowing Anthony, he either lent the money out for points or he flipped the package with it. In 2002, Anthony was in a bar on Long Island when he got into an argument with a guy. The guy wound up punching him in the face and went to go walk away. Anthony pulled out a knife and ran up behind the guy and cut his throat. Anthony ran out of the bar and got away, but he knew it was only a matter of time before he got caught. Naturally, when Ernie heard the story, he told Anthony he wanted his money back. Anthony was pissed because he had to go borrow the money to pay Ernie. God only knows what he did with that money. but he did pay it back. Then Anthony, being Anthony, went around bad-mouthing Ernie for Xing to get his money back.
I said, Anthony, what did you expect the guy to do? You got yourself jammed up. He knew you were going away, and he wanted his money back. It was his money. He said, the guy's got millions of dollars. He didn't need the money. I said, Anthony, it didn't matter if the guy got billions of dollars. It's his money. If he wants his money back, he's got the right to ask for his money back. The fact that Anthony was running around bad-mouthing Ernie got back to him. What is he supposed to say? I lend this guy money. He gets himself jammed up. I ask for my money back, and he bad-mouths me? So that's why he wanted nothing to do with Anthony. And to take it a step further, he told me he don't ever want to be introduced to Anthony as a friend in that life. So to explain that a little bit, two guys that know each other, that are both straightened out in the life, it doesn't necessarily mean that you got to meet each other, but you should meet each other. One reason being so you could talk freely around each other, and the second in case you got to do business together. But Ernie didn't want no part of Anthony in either case. Anthony would do and say crazy things. When I first started coming back around, he kept insisting that I was straightened out. He kept telling me, I know you're straightened out. I know they straightened you out. You could tell me. I would shake my head and laugh at him, and he believed it even more. I said, Anthony, you're not supposed to be asking questions like that in the first place. He said, you see, it's true. You are straightened out. He left such a bad taste in Ernie's mouth that when Anthony wanted to get involved with the pizzeria, and my video I did about the pizzeria with Anthony and Frankie Giudice, Ernie warned them, don't get involved, don't sell the pizzeria to Anthony, you're going to have nothing but trouble with him. And sure enough, they had nothing but trouble. Ultimately, what Anthony did is burn a bridge. Ernie's a captain with another family. He could have used that to his advantage. Usually when you do time with a guy, you have a different kind of relationship, a different kind of bond with that person. But none of that really mattered to Anthony. And I had to learn the hard way myself when he burned the bridge with me by trying to get the $1,500 from me. I don't know what he did to Mike Liguori, because Mike Liguori told me one time he wanted to set up a drug move with Anthony and rob Anthony for the money. Of course, I talked him out of it and told him you can't do that.
Michael and Anthony were friends at one time, but as I said, something must have happened between them. And believe me, Michael would have robbed him. Back when I was in the life, Anthony was always asking me if Ernie brought him up. I never knew what to say, so I used to say, yeah, he speaks about you once in a while, Anthony. Then he would turn around and say, I'd like to meet him as a friend, meaning he wanted to be formally introduced to Ernie. He said, it would be nice. We were away together and we should be introduced. So I just said, well, I'm sure you're going to meet him at one point, Anthony. And then while I thought to myself, not if Ernie could help it.
All right, I'll leave Anthony alone for now. I want to thank everyone for sending in their questions. Please continue to do so in the comments below. I'm setting up the next question and answer as we speak.
Hope you enjoyed the story. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you could do so down below. If you would like to subscribe to my other channel, Unlimited Substance Podcast, I'll add a link in the description for this video.